Welcome to Supercar, where we put the world's most talked about vehicles to the ultimate test. The 6-month test. 6 months ago, the Dacia Bigster promised to redefine the family SUV segment with incredible value. But has the honeymoon phase ended? Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into the long-term reality of the Dacia Bigster. When this car launched, the hype was massive, a huge SUV with a tiny price tag. But now that we've lived with it for half a year, driven it through city traffic, long motorway hauls, and packed it full of family gear, is it still the revolutionary bargain we thought it was? We're breaking down the genuine pros, the unavoidable cons, and giving you our final verdict. Dacia Bigster, 6 months later. Is it worth it? But before we hit the road, make sure you slam that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You don't want to miss our next long-term reviews. Design and practicality. Is bigger really better? When you first see the Bigster, it's all about the size. But is that extra length still paying off after 6 months of real-world use? Let's start with the exterior. The Bigster's design, staying true to its concept, is still a head-turner in its segment. It looks robust, modern, and far more expensive than it is. But the real test of a family SUV is practicality, and here the Bigster is mostly a winner. That enormous 667-liter boot space is absolutely class-leading, and we've used every single liter of it. From holiday luggage to flat-pack furniture, it just swallows everything. Inside, Dacia's clever features like the U-clip system for accessories, from phone holders to lights, have proven genuinely useful. The space in the back is excellent, with great legroom and headroom, making those long journeys much more bearable for passengers. The dimensions, which felt massive at first, have actually become a huge benefit, making it a very comfortable place for 5 people. The driving experience. So, is it budget or brilliant? The Bigster might be big on space, but is it big on driving pleasure, or does that budget pedigree start to show once you hit the open road? When we first drove the Bigster, we really praised its simplicity and comfort. And, 6 months in, that still holds true. But honestly, some cracks have begun to show, especially with the powertrain. Our hybrid model, which promises great urban efficiency, often delivers. Dacia claims up to 80% electric driving time in the city. Our real-world fuel economy is actually very respectable, consistently landing in the high 40s to low 50s miles per gallon, which is honestly outstanding for an SUV this size. Interior and technology. This is really where the cost-cutting bites. Dacia is all about value, but after 6 months of constant use, are those cost savings turning into daily frustrations inside the cabin? Well, this is where the Bigster's budget mission is most apparent. While the design is modern, the materials are mostly hard, unyielding plastics. They're robust, which is great for durability, especially if you've got kids, but they just lack that soft touch, premium feel. It's a pragmatic approach, but yeah, it's a daily compromise. The infotainment system with its 10.1-inch screen is kind of a mixed bag. The system itself is responsive, and we really love the inclusion of physical controls for the climate control, a huge win for usability. However, the quality of some key components, like the reversing camera, is surprisingly poor and low resolution, which is honestly a real shame given the car's size. Also, while Dacia has packed in modern ADAS features like lane keeping assist and traffic sign recognition, they can be, well, a bit overly zealous, requiring you to dive into the menu to switch them off every time you start the car. These are minor frustrations, but, they add up over a 6-month ownership period. The ultimate question, so, is the Bigster still worth the money? We've covered the good, the bad, and, yeah, the noisy. Now after 6 months and thousands of miles, does the price tag still make all the compromises worthwhile? Ultimately, the Bigster is Dacia's masterclass in compromise. You get a massive, good-looking SUV with class-leading practicality and excellent real-world fuel economy, especially from the hybrid, all for a price point that undercuts pretty much every major competitor. Starting around £25,000, it's a really compelling proposition. However, after 6 months, you do have to acknowledge the trade-offs: the high cabin noise, the unrefined hybrid gearbox, the hard plastics, and those lower-quality cameras. The Bigster isn't trying to be a premium SUV, and honestly, you shouldn't expect it to be. Its mission is to be a workhorse, a family ferry, and an affordable, hassle-free car, and at that, it succeeds brilliantly. Our verdict: 6 months later, the Dacia Bigster is absolutely worth it for the buyer who prioritizes space and value above all else. If you can tolerate the few unrefined elements and the hard-wearing interior, there really is no other large SUV on the market that offers this much for the money. It's an honest, practical, and highly efficient budget champion. Before you go, let us know, are you Team Bigster, or are you looking elsewhere? What do you think of the Dacia Bigster after hearing about our 6-month experience? Drop a comment below if you think the value proposition is worth those compromises. If you enjoyed this honest, long-term review, hit that like button, share it with a friend who's car shopping, and if you haven't already, click that subscribe button for more in-depth car reviews from Supercar. We'll see you in the next video.
Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him instead of